Hey everybody. Star Wars sequel trilogy. I know we don't really need to be bringing this up right now, but I feel like I should. Why? Let's talk about why. The criticism. It seems that the sequel trilogy has been criticized forever. Everyone hates it. No one wants to say anything good about it. To the point where they just start defending all the other Star Wars stuff that was previously bad. I mean, seriously. Can I just say something about that? Not that I'm gonna make you people have to change your minds. That's perfectly normal. But the problem is people hate the sequel trilogy so much to the point where they're not really letting anyone else like it. Like when I try to tell people I love the sequel trilogy, they just don't want to. They just think I have a bad opinion and that my opinions are stupid. But I think I really need to be focused to tell them that it's just my thoughts. And they just don't accept it. So today I'm going to share this video to everybody and talk to you people about why I think the Star Wars sequel trilogy is pretty great and pretty enjoyable. Yeah, I'm not kidding. And this is, remember, my opinion, okay? But I want to let other people know so they can accept my opinion and not call me stupid or anything. I should be doing a top 10 today, I know, but no, I'm doing this. Yeah, it sucks. We're talking about the sequel trilogy right now. With that being said, what is it about the sequel trilogy that people don't like? That's a problem. The problem people have been saying, they just seem to don't have a good job comparing it to Star Wars. People have just been saying that it doesn't feel like Star Wars most of the time. They keep thinking it's just way too out of the league. Well, I mean, I'll share what I think about that later. They also just seem to find too much criticism with the characters. Don't seem to like them at all. Find them way too unlikable. Okay? And they think that most of the plot points are stupid and copycats of previous Star Wars stuff. Well, that was the three problems people have said about the movies. Now I'm going to be talking about what I personally think about the Star Wars sequel trilogy and why I don't agree with those opinions. Why don't I agree with those opinions? Well, what do I think of the sequel trilogy? I will admit, you all are true. I mean, yeah, I guess some of the trilogy feels different and all, but isn't that what we were expecting in the first place? I mean, nobody really wanted a sequel trilogy, but I think when we knew if we were going to get one, it would have to be different in most ways. You would have to try to find new ways to, change it up. Make Star Wars still stand out to the audience while throwing new stuff at us. Now, here's something I gotta bring up. What does it do that really works? I'll tell you what it does. It brings us everything we didn't get enough of. The previous Star Wars movies had moments, but there were things that they didn't have a lot that this trilogy does bring up. The thing the sequel trilogy does is it takes more advantage of all the things that were missing from the original trilogies. What are those supposed to be? Well, first thing, they have more female demographic. I know you boys don't want that. You want more boy demographic, but they're still boys. There's still enough. It's just the female means more, because earlier in the Star Wars trilogy, it seems that there weren't many girls to pay attention to. It was really just all male counterparts. And same thing with the prequel trilogy. Not many females, just male. A lot of females that did appear weren't very important to us. But in the sequel trilogy, they do make more females more important. And I don't care if you people think that's stupid. They want more male. The female demographic does need to be focused on a little more. They need to, give the girl more attention. Stop scaring them away from Star Wars. I mean, they really deserve that. And I think the girls who want to see the Star Wars movies do need to see the Star Wars movies if they want to. They don't need to be kicked out or called way too girly for them. They can enjoy them if they want to. We all can have that opinion. So that being said, I think giving girls more attention in this trilogy works. It makes sense. It helps stand out. It helps give girls and boys the same time of attention they deserve. That's a really interesting thing. I mean, not saying that they didn't, not saying that the original trilogy sucked for that, but it's just when it comes to what the sequel trilogy does, they give the girls more attention and help stand out to it all. So you know what? I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm not kidding. You could say I'm joking. I'm not joking. I think it's great that they're focusing more on the girls. It's not. I'm not in any sexist terms, but really, we all need to know that girls need more attention in these trilogies as well. They need to spend more time for us, and we need to actually spend more time focusing on them. Stop rooting for the boys way too much. You know what I mean? Next, let's talk about another thing that Star Wars movies have done in the past, not as often as what this does. It's a little feature that this trilogy focusing on. It's called the Force. What's the Force? Well, you're a Star Wars fan. You know what the Force is. It's a special power that each Jedi needs to know in order to be able to stop the evil from taking over. The Force is used in the original trilogy in most ways. It was mostly mentioned in Empire Strikes Back when Yoda taught Luke how to do it. But as time went on, we seemed to try to, learn more about what the Force is. Yet it seems after the original trilogy, we still don't really know about the Force as much. I'm sorry, as much as the Force was trying to be explained in the movies, I still kind of need information about it. Same thing with the prequel trilogy. The Force is really only used in the trilogy and most just to pull things up, just used to take things without even touching them. Like, look, I'm using the Force because I'm not touching this thing, even though I am touching it. Do I have the Force? No, I don't. But with that being said, these trilogies, they just need to know that every other way of using the Force isn't used as much. It's used sometimes. I mean, they do use it in ways, but it's never acknowledged enough. They never really take the time to use it as much. Just kind of doesn't really work as well. In the sequel trilogy, however, we learn the Force better. It's actually acknowledged enough to the point where it actually seems to focus on the Star Wars name, and it should because of the power that no other movie has used before. It's a really unique identity that these trilogies are able to actually mention more, and we're able to understand it better for what they're trying to explain. They explain it to the point where we don't think it's just gonna lift shit and everything. They explain it to a point where we know that it's a real Jedi move. For those who's saying the Force not from the original trilogy and all, you just kind of need to focus. Because the Force, as much as these trilogies were able to explain it, the sequel trilogy is able to actually explain it better, so it can actually work. Like, we now actually fully know what it is. We don't need to look at a book or anything. We can actually watch the movie and learn about the Force better. You can disagree if you want, saying that these other trilogies were able to use the Force, but I think that the sequel trilogy acknowledges the Force much, much better, as it all in every simple terms. Everything that Jedi's need to accomplish in these movies can be described by the Force. Or the lightsaber, either way. Interesting idea, I guess. And the last but not least term I think we need to talk about for the sequel trilogy that I think makes for a good Star Wars: humor. Now, I guess I could be saying this as I'm a fan of comedy movies, but humor for Star Wars is something we take on for. Like, let's say Spaceballs. That's a Star Wars spoof that tries to just make Star Wars funny. Well, here's the thing. When the original trilogy came out, the humor that was used in randomness. I mean, we did see humor in them, definitely. Like, we found funny moments here and there. But it seems overall we just forget about those funny moments and we only think of Star Wars for two words: sci-fi and action and adventure. The comedy that they throw at us in my opinion, makes a Star Wars movie suitable for most people who get bored easily. So for those who want to focus on the trilogy, the way throwing humor can help kids like me still want to sit through the heat, not fall asleep or anything. Now, that's my opinion, but that's what this whole video is about, remember? And in the original and prequel trilogy, I said what's wrong with me? In the original and prequel trilogy, the humor that they use is used, but in the original trilogy, it's not used as often to the point where we can still fall asleep a lot. And in the prequel trilogy, the humor they do throw at us is not funny, just downright unfunny. I'm sorry, not all of it's very funny. In the sequel trilogy, they are able to keep the humor going. And a lot of people criticize it for using that humor. But I think they're using it pretty well. It's used, in these movies, I like that the humor is used, it's not used to focus on the story. Doesn't destroy what we're supposed to be focusing on. It just is randomly added so we can stay in our seats a little more. We can understand that this it actually can make epic moments feel more realistic. Yeah, I went there. Comedy added in these moments make them feel a lot more realistic. It make them actually can work better. It helps us understand this like a real true story. Seeing how real life we all like to get a laugh here and there. Well, when the sequel trilogy uses the comedy a lot, I think it makes the adventures feel more serious because with the humor added, we know that these characters aren't giving up yet. They're still willing to accomplish what they need to do. And I think the sequel trilogy is able to use the comedy in a good way so we can actually know that they're really into their work. I know, you can disagree with my opinion, but come on, I think that comedy added in these movies makes sense and deserves to be there. It deserves to help keep the story going. It makes us understand the story better. I might have just said that as opinion, but come on. I shouldn't have to explain it over and over again. So yeah, in conclusion, the sequel trilogy needs to be respected better. I'm not saying that you have to love it now, what I said, but you have to know that for those who do enjoy the sequel trilogy, and for those who actually agree with how great it is, deserve to roam free in this world better, deserve to be Star Wars fans. You gotta let them go as Star Wars fans, because despite them not agreeing with what you're agreeing, they still know what they're talking about. They still know what Star Wars is. Just because they have an opinion on liking something that you think is horrible, doesn't mean they're not the true Star Wars fans you want. They're just the kind of people who need to be meant for. You let them roam free as Star Wars fans. As a huge Star Wars fan like me, despite me thinking the sequel trilogy is great, I can still love everything about Star Wars. I mean, there's those great movies and there's those bad movies. All can be well deserved. I'm not saying the sequel trilogy is the best trilogy out of the bunch, but what I am saying is that it deserves better. With that being said, thanks for watching. I will do a top 10 list next weekend. I swear I'm not going to do filler shit like this. Goodbye.